Oh no! Our table is broken!
Yeah. Yeah. Don Brown. Bills Mafia. Yeah. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them, breaking them. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them, breaking them. You know the mafia dangerous. Put a hit out on your favorite team.
1, 2, 3, go!
Weapons, shooting the bomb, mafia mind. Please don't step on my shoes. Game day ones, the white, the red, the blues. Hey man, breaking tables is traditional. Wishing the fish, look at my drip. Never cheating like Belichick is. Sean McDermott never telling the biz. Deion Dawkins, Mr. Brown, we got Mitch. Gabe Davis told tapping to this. Who making anthems that slapping like this? Nobody getting the traction like this. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them. The podcast breaking tables, you see us, we breaking them tables. Neil and Brian is breaking the tables, the mafia baby, you know that we dangerous. Everybody know. Don Brown.
Get the tables.
All right. Hello, everybody. All right, enough. I know you're all ready to go because it's wild card week. The Buffalo Bills beat the Jets. This is Epic B. Welcome to the Breaking Tables podcast. Let's go.
This is Tampa Neal. Welcome to Breaking Tables. Man, you got excited. I'm like, damn. I'm going to reach that.
A little bit of this. Oh, yeah. So sweet. Today was good. And, what a day. We got a great show lined up for tonight, folks. Hit that like button. Hit that love button. Do not hit that angry button unless you're Bob Bradley, which he hasn't been on in a while. But this show is brought to you by attorney Frank Santini, Frank Santini Law Firm. Accident injury, get a lawyer who understands Buffalo Mafia because he is Mafia. Attorney Frank Santini, that same guy that did over that from Hard Knocks, who went through that table on national TV, represents injured fans across the nation. If he's going to take a table shot for the Mafia, you know he'll take on insurance companies for you. And the best part, you don't pay unless Santini wins. Call or text 888-645-3055. That's 888-645-3055. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Cases may be referred. This is a legal advertisement not affiliated with the Buffalo Bills, NFL, or HBO offices in Tampa, Florida, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. Oh, man. Bro,
let's Frank yesterday. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, let's get everyone knows. I don't have to announce him unless you're living under a rock. Happy Dave, hit the showers. What's up? Cheers. There you go.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Oh, great that we're in the playoffs.
Amen to that. Year 7. Let's go.
Oh, man. Well, here we are. Yesterday, dude. Last game, potentially the last game at Highmark Stadium or the Ralph or the Rock, whatever you want to call it.
I tell you what, the build up for me personally, the last couple of weeks, knowing, it's approaching, and it's approaching fast, and then, the local talk shows, with guest after guest, and former players, and I don't know if you guys caught any of that back down there, but just their favorite moments, and from Tally to Reed, all the I call them the horsemen: Reed, Tally, JK, Thurman, Tasker. and it's some of the same games, you know, the obviously the 51-3, the comeback, you know, where I did my own homework. I tried to post a few of them. You gotta love YouTube, man. You just punch in names and dates and you get little snippets and 20-minute pieces and all that. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house after the game and the Bills put that video out with the Goo Goo Dolls playing. I mean, that just, ugh, goodness gracious. And nobody wanted to leave. It was very reminiscent of, I think I mentioned before we came on, the 2011 Bills New England game when they ended that 15-game losing streak. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted to leave that game. And it was very, for me, very reminiscent of that last night, you know, as the clock wound down. And I'm looking around and I didn't see really hardly any, if any, blue seats from any vantage point. I mean, it was an amazing, just the whole day. It was just, it went by, it was almost like a blur. And just the whole day, you know, of course, you know, I'm always in the lot before the crack of dawn and had to shovel a little bit of snow. And then once we got rolling, I'm glad it was a 4:25 game. I'll top it off with that. It just gave us more time in that lot and the stories and, you know, my encyclopedia of just knowledge from my experiences in that building and be able to share it. You know, it was an absolute blast, but it just went by so fast.
Are you muted?
I was going to say,
I am muted. Hold on. I am.
I thought it was me for a second. I'm like, oh no.
You understand where it's coming up? No, well, what I was saying is, so instead of getting there at 6 a.m., you got there at 6:35.
No, actually it was 6:05 to be honest. Well, we woke up to like 2 or 3 fresh inches of snow. So I'm thinking, you know what, we got to get our corner cleaned out because you know they're gonna snow plow anyway, which they did for probably the 3rd time that week. And I mean it was nice, quiet, 25-degree morning. Got the shovel out, cleaned it up for about a good half hour. Dave showed up. You know, we got things set up and off we went. So yeah, it was a perfect winter day in Buffalo. Absolutely perfect.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It sucks us being down here in Florida. No, it doesn't, by the way. It does not suck us being with that snow shit. But getting home and seeing the last game, you know, that's incredible that you were able to experience it, but yet you live literally probably 2 miles away. So I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah.
No, it looked like it was a blast being there. Just seeing all the videos. I know my sister, she was there with her husband and kids and my mom, and you know, they sent us the videos and everything. So I got to see the whole Goo Goo Dolls. It was an awesome tribute to see that. It really was, just watching it. And I'd be like, man, if I was in that stadium, I'd be bawling my eyes out. I'm like, this isn't cool. Why are you guys doing this to me right now? But it looks like the atmosphere looked amazing. It really sucked for us because us watching it on TV, we're watching it, and then the game was over, and it was like almost instantly they switched to the Denver game. I'm like, all of us were out yesterday, and everybody's like, what the hell are they doing? And I don't know where somebody clicked and was like, maybe we should switch back. And they actually switched back for a little bit for the game, for like the end of the game a little bit. And so we got to see a little bit of something. You couldn't hear very well, but even I'm looking at my wife and my kids, I'm like, look at there's nobody leaving that stadium at all. There's nobody leaving. Right then and there when I saw it, I was like, oh, I really wish I was there for that part. I mean, the ask on the Jets was great, but seeing that, like, nobody wanted to leave the stands.
No, absolutely not. And kudos to the Jets for, you know, getting it right and breaking out their throwbacks, you know, to make it look as, you know, as authentic and throwback-ish, if you want to, if that's a word, you know, for yesterday's game. So, and then, you know, we could talk about the breaking out the red helmets and the red socks. I mean,
that was awesome.
You know, and and you guys know Matt Judon played, so you always know where he's at because he always has the red sleeves on. So you're watching him line up. I'm like, oh, there he is. And then pregame, we got in early, so we watching the warm ups, which Dave and I and most of us walking through the gate at like 2:30, 2:45, and Dave and I look at each other going, dude, we've never gone in this early. Like the gates were like still like pretty much deserted. We walked right in, got our coin. We went and saw the band play a little bit, and then off we went. But seeing Jordan Phillips come out during warm-ups with the puffy jacket on with his jersey over, just to see that up close in person, it's comical. It's comical, but he adds so much to that locker room and to that team, and there's a couple of guys I'd sit across from, and we laugh about it. I said, just you give him $100,000 a year once he's done, just to bring him back into the building and let him do the third down.
And, probably one of the cooler things too is you were able to hook up with John and Mike from Cleveland Bills backers.
Yes, after they were around with you guys. After the Browns game, Mike reached out instantly, and we swapped phone numbers. I told him where we're at. I said, please come join us. I said, I'll even save you a spot. So he was trying to get the particulars because he knew Game Day Buffalo is in the same lot. He goes, do you guys charge for a tailgate ticket? I said, no, this is just thrown together. It's more of a potluck kind of thing. I said, hey, buddy and I will just drop a quick menu and just if you want to add to it. So being in Buffalo, what do they bring? 2 sheet pizzas from Wegmans. It was perfect. It was perfect. We heated those up on the flat top. Dave's got the chafing dishes. We loaded up the chafing dishes with pizza. We had sausage. I made a huge pot of chili. So yeah, if you left, as every home game with us, you leave hungry, that's your fault, man. And with four teenage boys, yeah, they put a dent in that. So which was good. Good.
Wow! I didn't know that they had that many kids.
Yeah,
that's cool. They're good people. Good people.
Oh my gosh, what a blast!
I'm glad to set you guys up together because they're like, do you know anybody that has a tailgate that is cool? And I'm like, Dave Kaprosch. There is no one else. I could have sent him to the Misfit Mafia, but I'm like, it's cool, but Kaprosch is a storybook. You do it right, man, and that's kind of tailgates that we throw. That's if we were going to throw a tailgate, that's why everyone loves coming to our tailgates when they come down to Miami, is because we get the experience, what makes it amazing. And you just do that week in and week out at home games, which is awesome, bro. Awesome.
Yeah, so most of the season with our tailgate, obviously you guys know about the shot table and how much that's kind of morphed into its own existence. So I got, with the bullhorn. So every home game this week, I'll sit there for a second, and all eyes are on me because I'm going to come up with some reminiscent game from the past or a saying. So the one that came up late yesterday afternoon as, things got rolling was in the 90s when the Bills were on their run, there was a chant the players had for Ralph. And it just popped in my head. And I'm like, it kind of goes, hooray for Ralph, hooray at last, hooray for Ralph, he's a horse's ass. So all the young guys are looking at me like, what? I go, I always tell people, the youngsters, the guys in their 20s or even early 30s, I go, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go home and talk to your mom and dad. Your dad especially should know that. So, or just Google it, man. Google everything. Go to YouTube, man. Everything.
I don't even know it.
Fingertips.
I don't even know it.
I didn't know that one either.
Yeah, that was literally, I don't know how that just popped in my head, but man, that was one that they just would chant in the locker room after a huge win. And Ralph would be up there with that old, that 75, 80-year-old grin on his face and just,
Well, yeah, that's Sean. What up, Sean? What up, Mike? I see you guys in the comments. The red helmets were awesome. No, that whole uniform was amazing, dude. That that just screams Buffalo, dude. I love it. What are your guys' thoughts on that, Neil? What you start with you, bub?
Man, watching that, it brought a little nostalgia as a kid and everything. The red helmets, they looked amazing. The uniforms looked absolutely amazing. The field looked awesome. Watching all the guys come out there, seeing Tasker and Thurman Thomas just go nuts in the beginning. It was really awesome.
Yeah. It was definitely
and now we have a
fun
quarterback
day.
controversy after Mitch Trubisky lit it up yesterday.
Oh, Mitch! It was the Mitch game, guys. It was the Mitch game. It's like, all right.
It's funny because I mentioned that with the guys I sit with. I said, "Oh, I go. You do remember when we played the Colts to finish the season in '99? Rob Johnson quarterbacked it, boat raced the Colts, and then Ralph tells Phillips, "Oh yeah, Rob's going to start on Sunday or Saturday in Houston on the throwback game."
Yeah, that's
and I'm
the
like going,
Doug Flutie, Rob Johnson era.
Yeah, and we could probably have an 8-hour show on those two alone. But anyway,
8 hours, dude, 8 hours.
But yeah, the red helmets, you could tell it was a different. I don't want to say a different shade of red, but it was a shinier lid.
It was beautiful.
To go with the existing blue jersey, not the 90s blue jersey, which was just a paler blue. Mm-hmm. But the Red Sox just brought it all together with that.
Oh yeah.
It's just when they came out for the introductions, I'm like,
I personally think that the paint, it's like a paint job on a Toyota Corolla is not going to be the same paint job as a Ferrari. And the way that color just matched, bro, that shit was Lamborghini, dude. That was everything. Was like, who is your fashion designer, my dude? It looked good. It looked sleek. It looked really good.
That was definitely a Versace kind of look to it last night for sure.
Didn't know. They definitely spent a little extra money to make sure that it was we're gonna bling. We're gonna bling without having a University of Miami turnover chain bling, right? By the way, University of Miami, Thursday night, 7:30. Let's go, babe.
Wow.
Oh, what's going on here? I gotta filter Mike's texts or messages because we don't know if he's gonna do something that is they're gonna make us lose our Disney contract, which he does every week. So this is gonna go on. Mitch is gonna be in KC next year with that performance. So geez, that's kind of funny. This whole reason to ban him.
What's funny, Mike says that because that was mentioned on one of the morning shows this morning, saying, free agency starts in March. Mahomes, they say he may be ready for the opener next year, but what if he's not?
That's an
what's his face?
I don't see him being ready that quick.
I think exactly. I think that's why he had it done like right away. He got a second opinion quick and said, "Let's get this going," because and it was probably his first major injury, right? He didn't really had. Yeah. What did he have in college? Nothing, right?
Nothing that I know of, at least.
No. So, it sucks that it happened, but he's an athlete. He'll come back.
Sean Hanrahan goes, they should have had the red end zones too, but we can't ask for it all.
It's funny as that's mentioned because I thought that earlier in the week, but obviously a foot and a half of snow fell, earlier in the week, and I'm thinking, man, to top this off, to walk in there with red end zones, I said, jeez, I would have brought paint and done it myself.
Right, I'll do it for free. I'll even shovel it too.
I'll shovel and spray paint for you. Come on.
Well, what was the most sentimental part of yesterday?
I mean, you've probably seen the tribute videos, on the socials. The one that the Bills put out. I don't know if you saw the one my buddy Jim put out, Liberator, Maui Jim. I shared that on my page. he put one together with Ringo Starr's song Photograph. I've only watched that twice, and let's just say the tears to no tears 0 on that video clip, because holy smokes, it was just a lot of like Bills fans, old and new, back in the day with their kids, with that song in the background, some clips of old Bills games and Joe Ferguson. I mean, I was like, dude, I text them, I go, dude, stop, will you please? It was so good. But yeah, a couple of the Bills put out, they rebroadcasted the one at halftime that you guys, probably everybody saw. And again, it's just, it's
Amazing.
reliving it. I mean, I obviously I got a couple of years on you guys, but
30,
for me, seeing the old clips of OJ and Fergie and Wallace Francis running back a kickoff return the first year the stadium opened, and I mean, on and on and on. It's just, I don't know.
Didn't you go to high school with Ralph Wilson? No, I'm just kidding. That's fun.
What?
I said, didn't you go to high school with Ralph himself? That's fucked up.
Well, you don't realize.
There goes. He's never answering my calls ever again.
I could be one of his grandkids. Well, we'll do that.
Oh, come on. You have great grandchildren. Yeah, I accept that one. I can see that one.
And it's great because you see some clips with Mary Wilson, talking about during the week, talking about her favorite memories. Obviously, the comeback game was one for her, and the first Super Bowl, the Raiders championship, and yeah, she is such just a sweet woman. Kudos to her. I didn't realize how much younger she was of Ralph. Talk about not to go off the rails here, but I mean, wow, Ralph, good for you, brother. I mean, she's a good 20, 25 years younger than him, man.
You ain't nothing but a gold digger. No,
no, definitely not. No. But yeah, I had the pleasure meeting her a couple times, and just what a peach. She is just an absolute fantastic lady.
Mike Ron goes, damn, and you was worried about me saying something that'd be fucked up. Yeah, because you kind of go off the rails, Mike.
Dave, one question for you. There was one person I was kind of surprised. Was Fitz there yesterday?
No.
I was surprised he wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah. The only knock on the whole thing they did yesterday, and Jeff Nixon, I follow him, because he was one of the 18. I'm thinking 18? So I'm wondering, did they have to pay their own way to go to Buffalo? I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe there'd be more of a turnout and at least introduce quickly the 18 guys that probably would have taken you 45 seconds. I'm like, I don't know. Just I might be critiquing it too much, but I just thought maybe they would, just hey, this is blah blah blah, and stand up and just kind of step forward, wave your hand, and because I'm, they show on the jumbotron, they're showing, the camera guys just kind of, scrolling through, walking past everybody, and of course everybody's got a hat on or they're bundled up, and I mean, you knew again the horseman, Tasker had that whatever animal was on his head.
Big old hat on.
I can't wait to run into him and go, dude, what was that on your head? What animal was that? But then, hearing those stories from those two this week when they got announced that they were going to be, the legends of the game, and they were on Friday on One Bills Live, and you can hear, I mean, I think Steve's voice was starting to crack a little bit as those two were going back and forth of the different games and their memories and the locker room and, all that. But you couldn't have picked two better guys to end it, to close,
absolutely.
Help close the doors. I mean, Kelly's done it this year. I'm glad they brought Ferguson back this year. When I saw him over the summer, I even said to him, I said, they need to bring everybody and their mother with your jersey that you wore walking out of that tunnel. That would have been, I mean, that for me would have been just amazing. Kind of like what the Sabres did for their 50th. They brought everybody back, as many as they could 3-4 years ago when they, were celebrating that. But I mean, I'm probably nitpicking, but that's all right. it was great. Otherwise,
Sean made probably the best insightful message he's ever done, contributing to the show. Thank you, Sean. Shout out to everyone respecting the request to not rush on the field and steal things on the way out. As much I wanted to say, it's crazy. The Mafia was all class. Staying with the whole yesterday, being respectful, was our house. So yeah, they definitely. I mean, unless there were stories that they didn't want anyone to know about, but people are eyeballing shit. What was one thing you wanted to steal? You're like, man, dude, if I wasn't, what do I want to steal from the stadium, my dude?
Not gonna lie, I was a video of somebody with a wrench trying to take their seat off.
Or just as a gimmick, you bring when you're growing up, one of your Fisher Price, like the workshop, or bring in one of those plastic crescent wrenches. Hey man, what can I get? What can I take off with this thing instead of working on something? But yeah, with I'd say about 8 minutes left, you see all the yellow coated security guys coming down the aisle behind the Bills bench. So they all streamed onto the field, and then literally a minute later, here comes New York State's finest, the troopers coming out, all dressed, lids are on, all coming out. So literally around the whole, outer, the wall of the stadium, I'd say arms width apart was another security personnel. And if you thought about it, you changed your mind pretty quick, because there was no chance in hell if anybody getting even near that field.
walking into the little detection things they have there, and sir, it's going up. Beep, 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 beep. Why do you have a fucking power screw gun with a 5mm hex fucking like what are you doing, sir? I'm like, oh no, this is my support tool. I don't know. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Everything's gonna go auction, so maybe Larry Palmy will fucking buy a couple of chairs.
Well, it's funny as you say, LP. He's had the bug. He was sick yesterday, so he muscled his way in for about a half.
Oh,
So I talked to him last night when I got home, and he goes, "Dude, I'm coming through security. I had to take off my jersey." He goes, "I'm like, what?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, what were you carrying? Like, I'm thinking, what were you carrying? Did you have tools under that jersey? Well, yeah, he got bit with the bug, so I think he barely made it to halftime, and he had to go. He goes, he had to be in that building. He had to be in that building at least to say he was there. Because I'm like, dude, I would have done the same thing. You know what? I'll worry about when I'm going to end up contracting more sickness wise down the road. I need to be in that building.
Yeah, I will walk in with 105 fever, and I apologize if you get sick because of me, but I'm sorry. This is worth it, right? This is worth it.
Because then I tell him a story, speaking of being sick, 2014, again, more useless knowledge that I just seem to remember. The Bills are playing the Packers. We got Mario Williams still on the team. Carpenter kicks a field goal to go up 5. So I'll back up a little bit. Saturday, I'm feeling I know I'm coming down with something. So I took a good hit of probably a half a bottle of Dayquil, the smaller version of would soon to be now the shot table. A couple good 2 or 3 shots of Crown to kind of get the juices going. And by the late third quarter, everything is wearing off. I'm going, oh no, I got to get out of here. It's happening. Carpenter kicks the field goal. The Bills go up by 5. I'm literally at the top of the stairs to get out of the stadium. And then I'm listening to it on the way home. And then, Aaron Rodgers gets sacked and the other end by Mariota to basically end the game. But yeah, I know that was probably the first and only time the flu was really starting to rock and roll in my body. And I ended up waking up in the middle of the night with 102 fever, and it's during Christmas. Of course, guys that worked at FedEx, they were like, "What, you're sick?" I go, "I'm sick, dude. Trust me."
Well,
Well, it's funny. I'll tell you, if they would have rebuilt the stadium back in the day before they, I remember going into that stadium when there were no metal detectors at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because walk right in.
You just walk right in,
Yeah.
and I had 2 or 3 blue lights on my belt buckle and just walked in, and I was put them in the snow whenever I got in there, and we're good to go.
Speaking of sneaking in beer, another Kelly's first game as a Bill, September of '86. My buddy Mike, who I still tailgate with, at the time he was like 15 or 16 years old. There was 4 of us. We had seats in the upper deck on the Bill side. We snuck in almost between 4 guys, bottles, mind you, of Labatt in our hoodies, in the hood, in our pockets, back pockets, inside tucked in my sock, because it was kind of a coolish September day. And then we're all taking them out of our pockets and sticking them under our seats. And the guys behind us are going, "You guys, oh shoot, I got one more. Hold on." we're handing them out. Bill's, Kelly's first game. It's just, again, another memory in that building. It's insane. The stuff you could sneak in, not really sneak in. You almost have it tucked under your arm and walking in back. You used to be able to bring in the early '80s. Remember the beer balls?
Oh yeah,
the plastic beer balls.
They allowed that back in the day?
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
This is the best conversation I've ever had in my life. No fucking way. I know all about the beer balls, dude.
The beer balls. So depending on where you sat, once it's empty, guys would roll them down the stairs towards the wall in the row 1. You'd hear dun 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 dun.
Oh no, Chad.
Because they came back then. They used to come tucked inside of the cardboard box.
Yeah.
And the tap would be just tap the ball.
I've never even heard of a beer ball until I was in Mississippi, Meridian, Mississippi, when they had fucking beer balls. I was like, "What is this contraption?" All right.
Just stories like that. Again, you could back then. You'd see empty fifths of whatever Southern Company. The original guys I had seasons with, my buddy Jamie would have, the deerskin Boda bag. He'd have that tucked under his armpit, over his shoulder, with a shirt or jacket on, whatever, filled with Jim Beam, and then we'd be passing that back and forth through the course of the game.
Well, that's nowadays you got to get the stuff, the little bags, the clear bags that they use for IV. You got to clear that out and put white liquor in there and tape it to your body, and now you have liquor. I'm just saying, I may or may not have done that, but or you could be very sneaky like myself, who got into Batavia Downs for the signings and smuggled in a 30-pack of beer and a bottle of gin. Let's just say that that's how I met Michael Vick and Isaiah McKenzie, and I was just trashed. Batavia Downs, thank you for your lack of security. Hope you're not watching this, because extremely suck if I'm not allowed to do that ever again, if I ever have the opportunity to do that again. But
I will say that I did love over the last couple of days just looking at old pictures of the stadium, of being there. Like me and my wife got married up in Buffalo, and we got married Saturday, the day before home opener. And we literally woke up after being out till 5 a.m., woke up at like 7:30-ish. This is at the Delaware Mansion, or the mansion on Delaware.
Yeah.
We have a nice room and everything there. Yeah. And I'm waking her up saying, "Hey, we got to go. Where I got to get out there for the building." And she's just like, it's 7:30. I'm like, yeah, I know, we're late.
It's game day, babe. Get up. What year was that?
We went there, still, doing pretty awesome for the night before. She's still in her like full makeup from the wedding. So, we look awesome. Yeah, we've got
unlike
beef on wax, because we had beef on wax as like a partying gift to leave with. and we've got all these beef on wax, and we meet a bunch of our friends up, and we got videos of us shotgunning beers. Then it was great. We're in the stands just giving beef on wax to people.
Or you can go to the draft. What up, Shane? You can go to the draft and pocket full of mini bottles. I may or may not have done that too. I'm just saying. You know,
What year was Neil? What year was that?
That was 10 years ago, 2015. It was September 2015.
So that was Rex's first year. When did they open up against?
I want to say it was Indy the first game.
Celts, yeah. Percy Harvin with the bomb catch. Yeah. See, again, it's just becomes the useless knowledge coming out of my cranium here. That I don't know. The whole thing has just been, that whole day yesterday was, like I said earlier, it was a blur. It was a blast. It was a roller coaster yesterday for me. Just the emotions and hearing more stories and coming up with more stories and just the expressions after I tell a story. They're just like, what? I go, yep.
See, it's honestly, guys, it's not fair. You both have really, deep ties for this stadium. I mean, I have my one deep tie, and it ended up with me getting my ass kicked by a rock outside. That was my most memorable moment. It was the playoff game against the Patriots, and my brother, who just got out of the military, who I deeply love, I invited him over to go, dude, we're going to a game together, man. And I saw a rock, and I'm, as an older brother, I'm like, watch out for that rock, John. And I'm fucking tumbling over another rock, which I did not see because it was dark, by the way. You ever nicked your knee on the edge of a little end table, walking by it? Yeah. Well, yeah, it was like tenfold. And it was that's my only memory, but it was a great memory because Josh Allen's perfect game. So outside of that, I saw OJ Simpson back in 1993 when I was a young kid. He wasn't playing, but he came out as like a one of those great legends of the game kind of thing.
Well, it's funny when, speaking of him back, early 90s when he was doing this stuff with NBC, and I mean, he was like, obviously what happened afterwards in his life, but prior to that, him coming out of the tunnel with an NBC microphone in his hand, he was still God in that building. Are you kidding me? Every time they do the national game, and OJ's gonna do the sideline stuff. My goodness, he come out of that tunnel. Shit, you thought he had a uniform on. He was gonna play today. Just insane.
Oh man! All right, can we talk about this game now? Should we talk about this game? Great memories.
Okay.
Great I know, right? The memories trump the victory yesterday, and that's why I mentioned it was a very emotional victory. But hand it to James motherfucking Cook getting the rushing title, dude.
Oh yeah, man.
OJ, let's go! Are you kidding me?
Tell me you weren't nervous watching that Baltimore game last night.
I was.
I mean, Henry had 112 yards the first half. I'm like, son of a bitch. They didn't give him enough yards. Like, they didn't give him enough, and then somehow Pittsburgh woke up. I don't know if McDermott called
Tomlin. Yeah,
instead of like,
well, we should
hook my guy up here.
Come on, dude. Listen, here's what's gonna happen. You got to stop Henry. Or I won't. If you do this, I will not sack your quarterback. I'll play fucking posh if I ever play you in the playoffs. I don't know. But man, dude, James Cook, bro. I'm glad he fucking did. He's got the rushing title. I was all about getting rid of him. Like, no, he's greedy little son of a. Yeah. Bit my tongue and apologize. I'm apologize again. Thank God we have James Cook on our team, because that's just another spectacular. Wait, are you telling me? Because every team with a good running back does not have a good quarterback, right?
A lot of
And
them,
I'm glad McDermott was like, all right, well, let's get you at least 15 yards. Just play it safe. Thank God they did, because it would have been really close. And Kaprosch was saying it had it been, if they did not do that really close, it would have been really so. But
or if that game went to overtime last night with the mixed extra points and that, I mean, that could have happened as well. Like, sheesh.
oh man,
they should give him an asterisk if that happened.
But what do you guys love about this game? Outside of being the last game at Rich Stadium, or fucking Ralph, fucking Highmark, whatever you want to call it.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. We always laugh. You call your shutouts. I was watching that, and we were sitting there. We're like, man, is he gonna call? He's gonna do a shutouts. He's gonna actually gonna be right this time. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, please get the shutout. What an amazing way to send that stadium off with the shutouts. I mean, that's like Derek Jeter hitting a home run for his 3,000th hit. That is Jordan in the flu game. That's as big as it gets right there.
That's Otaki getting 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's man, I wanted so bad.
What was my what did I say? 42-0? No, it's 31-0, I think.
31-0, yeah.
0, yes. I go, oh, my shutout's going. And then they scored that touchdown. I'm just like, wow, we're so up. I'm okay with my score prediction.
I was okay with it too. And I'm like, man, that would have been an amazing way to go out. That really would have been.
You would have been like, oh my God, I'm going to hear it from Brian on Monday that he was fucking spot on.
I would have been.
Oh shit. How about you, brother? What was your most memorable part of yesterday's shellacking Mitch Trubisky game, bro?
I mean, going into it, it was nice because there's no pressure. You're playing a team that they've given up 5 games of 20 or more, whatever it was, another crazy stat they threw out there. They basically got boat raced against New England at home the week before, and I'm thinking, all right, it's funny, we were talking about in the park. I said, just go up 21 and just let my ADHD kick in, and I can just sit around and stare at the stadium and reminisce and and not pay attention to what's going on in the field. I was like, all right, 21-0, great, la 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 la. Like a 6-year-old kid looking at the Christmas windows at an A&A's downtown back in the day. But anyway, yeah, it was good. I wouldn't say it was I thought it'd be more of a party atmosphere in the stands. Not that it wasn't, but I really thought I don't know. And then for old time's sake, a couple of beach balls got blown up, and so that brought back some memories, because there used to be a ton of those back during the Super Bowl run. So that started happening. And someone's trying to get the wave going. So that, I think the wave went, I don't know, it kind of petered out once or twice once they got going. But
Section 143. They called in a sales show today, and it was like, yeah, we're in that section. It was like 143 or something. Don't quote me on that. But they're like, yeah, he's like, dude, that was so cool. That was so cool.
But yeah, it was just a nice, relaxing Sunday for me. And again, just sticking around to the end and see what else they had planned afterwards. And once it was going, I'm just like, oh, man. By then my girl went to the game with a good friend of hers and her youngest daughter and her best friend. So the 6 of us are all hanging out together the last 4 or 5 minutes and swapping and telling. There's Dave telling more stories and more games and just whatever. Just, I don't know. But I just, honestly, I didn't, if it wasn't for security, I'd still maybe be in there.
There we go, Sean. I lost Brian in the third quarter and saw him when we traveled back to the last 2 minutes of the game. The DeLorean was overheating. You don't get the joke. You don't get Breaking Tables podcast. Time travel.
But did you do 88 miles an hour to time travel though? That's the question.
I went above and beyond, dude. I was pushing like 189.
Gabe Davis' touchdown was nasty. That was an amazing touchdown.
Oh, that was right in front of us. He mossed that dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just
over here.
he just like almost like just scooped it off the top of the dude's head. Like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
He played every snap yesterday. So what does that mean going into the playoffs? He's got to be on the
big play game.
So, and let me one up that one. Not only was it nasty, how about that block to get fucking Davis in the end zone? Just push that guy, shoveled him into the end zone, his defender.
Yeah, you need Gabe Davis on that playoff roster. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
1,000%. 1,000%.
There's like, Mike.
What up, Mike? He goes, bro, we had such a tailgating, had a blast tailgating with Dave. The hospitality that he showed the wife and I and our boys was beyond words. They had an amazing time. Thank you. Go Bills. Forever live in the memory of Ralph. That's awesome, Dave. That's awesome, bro.
It's Dave, it's myself, it's everybody involved. But yeah, I mean, you guys know that you come to us to have a good time, and the carpet is out for everybody. So and Mike and Jen and their boys, no different. Man, I'm glad they came. And
we love meeting you all. What a way to end this season.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you, Jen.
Hello, Mike and Jen.
Tab and Neil, do you have those after the game videos? So we don't. I can't play the ones that Bill's played because we're gonna get blocked out from Facebook. So Tab and Neil's got screenshots or screen grabs from people on site.
These are actually directly from my sister. She was at the game. Here we go.
Tabanil. It's choppy, bro.
Yeah, very choppy.
All right. Well, you get it. Whatever. We'll show it next time. Maybe not. Who knows?
Or just go to YouTube and watch it.
Yeah, go to YouTube and watch it. It's emotional. It's emotional. And Tabanil's muted. I don't know why he's muted.
I don't know why I muted either.
Are you in timeout?
But it was really cool to see that. Yeah, can you hear me? We good?
All right, perfect. All right, so here is my concern going into Jacksonville. I know we're gonna have a podcast on Wednesday. We may or may not have the roller derbies on. I didn't realize the University of Miami is going to be playing in the playoffs on Thursday at 7:30. So we will not be having a show on Thursday because I'm going to be watching the University of Miami play. And I let's go you, baby. Let's go you. I've been a fan of University of Miami since when I found out Jim Kelly came from the University of Miami. This is back in the day, dude. So over 30 years being a University of Miami fan, even though I have no skin in the game, as some people call it. But anywho, the Bills move on to the playoffs, and we're going to be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. But one thing that concerns me is, do we have a kicker? What did McDermott say about Prater, Neil?
He said that Prater is going to be like day to day. They are going to be looking at people to come in tomorrow and try him out and see how Prater goes throughout the week. We were talking about this last night as well, or yesterday as well, after the game. I'm going to throw a name out there that's got a shit ton of controversy, but he can make a kick. You guys opposed to Justin Tucker coming in?
No, I'm not opposed to that. What did he do again? Oh, I know he got in some trouble.
He kind of did the same thing that Watson did with massage therapists.
He served 10 games on that too. So I mean, he had a tryout with the Saints. I don't know what the timeline was, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they didn't sign him.
Question,
so I don't know. I don't know if they had a conscience and said no, we can't do this, or his audition sucked. I mean, it's one or the other. But if before all that started,
did they bring him in? I'm sorry. Did you say they brought him in?
Yeah, the Saints brought him in.
The Saints, not the Bills.
Yeah, not the Bills, the Saints. But if you go back to the year, I think I don't know when that story broke on him, but he basically fell off the planet
that year
with his percentage. I mean, he went from a probably mid-90s percentage field goal kicker to 73%. Like, you think all that stuff going on in his personal life didn't affect him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
mean, he was horrible. Horrible.
All right. Are we taking morals over? I mean, come on. It's a Super Bowl run, right? Let's call this 2026 now a Super Bowl run. Are we going to get rid of our morals, or are we going to address the elephant in the room? Because we don't have a kicker. I don't have faith in Matt Prater.
I mean, the only thing going for us this week is the Florida warm weather. I mean, if anything, I'd send him to Florida right now and get that leg nice and suntanned and warmed up and get some Bengay on that thing, or whatever you got. Come on.
Go to Tucker's local spots and like let's go. Whatever Tucker did for his success, use that as a recipe for success. Let's go.
There was a question up here. I don't know if you saw.
We just lost Chow Now massage parlor here. That's one of our sponsors, but they no longer sponsor us apparently. And
why did they have Davis kick yesterday?
I asked, as Sean says that, I asked the same question. I go, well, he did it in the preseason. He kicked, in the preseason game. But again, it's preseason, not regular season. Because if he was back there, the Jets would have rushed an extra guy just to take him out.
Yeah, no, that was I'm glad that they just allowed Mitch to be like, all right, dude, let's get we're gonna buff your stats up, because his contract ends at the end of the year. Yeah, he's only on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, that's all.
I thought they actually signed him for a couple of years. I was wondering the same thing whenever
1 year. That's a good way to showcase. Just showcode him. Just hey, this is our guy. This is Chip. Browns are probably salivating after watching that game. Salivating, excuse me. I like salivating, sounds better, but salivating.
Salivating.
You need a quarterback, and we're not going to get Mendoza from the draft. So let's get Mitch Trubisky, because he looked good.
Yeah,
well,
somebody
was correct.
Somebody will come after
a 2-year deal. However, he signed it last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, somebody's going to give him a call.
So this last year then is this year, right, Neil?
Yeah,
correct.
All right. No, he won't be there next year. And of course, I'm sure he wants to be in Buffalo, but money talks, guys. It's business, right? Money talks. Okay, that's why a lot of players. And thank God we don't have much dead money next year. But man, James Cook being a rushing leader, he's going to ask for premium money when his contract ends.
Well, that's in 4 years. That's way down the road.
That's a
reality.
That's a new high stadium problem, right?
Yeah, that's a future Bills problem.
We'll worry about that later. But awesome, guys. This is such a fun episode. Every time Dave Kaprosch was talking about, all the stories, and yesterday makes me want to cry, guys. I've been like, come on. Even though we live down here in Florida, it's like we live our lives vicariously through you, bro. You and Hit the Showers, man. Thank you so much, bro.
I love you guys. You know that. I love coming on when I'm asked. And again, yesterday was just a special day, and we're sad right now. But look, when I did my post game, I just kind of turned and looked across the street and went, "Okay, let's see what you got once we open the doors there, and sometime this summer." So it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting for sure. I think a lot of us, we're still in mourning, that it's, the next chapter, where they're going to be, battling on Sundays now, next fall. And I think for me, when the cranes and the wrecking ball start showing up there, and then I think for me and a lot of people, that's when reality is going to set in, man. It's like when the odd came down 10, 15, 20 years ago. Whew.
Well, if there's one good thing to think about, Dave, it took them 20 years to take the odd down.
Yes.
You got a while.
Well, they're saying, they're going to start March of 27, the last I heard and read. So whether, that happens, but obviously they got to, they need that space over there. So we'll see. A couple people.
I heard they're putting a Bass Pro in there.
Bass Pro. I know we should start that rumor. You heard it here. Bass Pro is coming to One Bills Drive.
Same source. It's the same source that said that Stefan Diggs hooked up with Jennifer or Brittany. The only reason why he's off the team. That was the same source. So take that for a grain of salt, folks. True story.
Pro. Bass Pro.
At Brass Pro Shop. Let's I'll do this clip and we'll be like, hey, I heard the rumors. Make it
breaking tables with the breaking news.
Want to actually be a real Bass Pro Shop? And then we were like, told you, we said it. We were so confident. We told you January 5th, 2026. Let's go.
The sponsorships will be rolling in for you guys. Oh my God.
I really want to make a sign that says future home of Bass Pro Shop. Put it in front of the stadium.
A little picket sign. Just you got to nail it in.
Only
you know what?
Will get why that's.
I'll give a shout out to Rory and John at Zoom Buffalo. They can make up something like that.
That would be absolutely amazing.
Rory would definitely do that.
I'm going to reach out to him and just say, dude, what will it take to come up with a sign like that? Just kind of just nail it right in the grass, right by One Bills Drive, and just walk away.
I'll text him. Actually, that's a good idea. I'll text him tomorrow. It's probably too late now, but like, bro, dude, just hear me out.
We have an idea.
Just hear me out, dude. Just hear me out, Rory. Future Bass Pro Shop. Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
That's good. That is good.
All right. Well, hi, Mark. We will remember you. Adele singing it so much better, so I'm not going to finish that chord. And you will remember me. Why do I not sound like Adele? Oh yeah, because I suck at singing. So there's that. But fun times, guys. Final thoughts. Let's get final thoughts. Final thoughts. We'll start with Kaprosch. Final thoughts, bro. What's on your just last airs, bro? Your last airs. Get it all out right now. Because it's Jacksonville super wild card weekend.
Well, year 7 of said playoffs, number 17. This roster is it's probably the healthiest it's been outside of, seeing Hairston and, our kicker pull another quad. But and to touch on again, yesterday, one last time, it was amazing. 400. I don't know if you saw my first post last night. 440 games played in that building. They ended up winning about 60% of those games at the cost of $20 million to build that thing back in 72. And it was under budget by about $500,000. Believe that.
Crazy to think. Any construction under budget.
Yeah, that, and it was built in 14, 15, 16 months, something like that, the time frame. That when I look back on that and see the old stuff of that in today's age, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, it was just, poured concrete and metal bleachers and seats, but still, how quick that building went up. And then in today's day and age, you look across the street and go, what do you mean you're not going to be on time? It's amazing. But all the memories in that building, again, you guys know, I tell people, just go to YouTube, man. You got a game in your head, just punch it in and watch a highlight. That's where I get a lot of my stuff from my page. And again, 52, 53 years of that place. And I've, as many road games as I've been to the old stadiums and now the newer ones, I told this yesterday to the crew, I said, I may be a homer, but there is not a bad seat anywhere in that building. Whether that's going to be the same across the street or any of the new stadiums that go up, moving forward. I've sat in the higher reaches of the upper decks, either ends and corners, and to where I've been in the end zone for the last 35, 36 years. There was not a bad seat in that building. Not at all. And that's the shame of it, because they don't build them like that anymore.
That's for sure.
So amen to that place, and the memories will live forever.
I'm not crying. You're crying, dude.
Dude, that was me last night, man. I'm trying to spit out a post game, and my
I
girlfriend
did not watch your post game on purpose, dude.
Well, it's funny because I did not one, I did 2 of them. I had to go on the grassy knoll because I'm thinking, where am I going to do this next year? Will I still be able to access this thing, or do I got to find a grassy knoll and across the street? I don't know.
He was halfway through his post game. He got booted out of the stadium.
Yeah, the security was like, I'm like, dude, I'm sitting there thinking, can I finish this, please?
Yeah. Who was the guy that came up and just started randomly, continuously talking to you?
Well, this guy, he sits about 5 or 6 rows below me. So every game you come up, gives me a hug. He's like, dude, he goes, you're and I appreciate it. I get people that, you're one of the legends. And I'm like, dude, I am no bigger of a fan than you are. I just happen to wear a hockey helmet and look like a dumbass. I mean, that's it. But then I do that to Kenny and and Elvis and those guys, because whenever I've had them on, I'm like, I call Kenny the Godfather. I'm like, for crying out loud. You guys have met Kenny numerous times. I mean,
I've never met Kenny ever.
Yeah, there's a guy. He's the same guy I met 30 years ago. He just is no ripple in that water. Anybody can approach him. Same with John.
You mean Kenny Johnson, right? Peter
Johnson. Yeah.
The same guy that in Detroit that he was 5 feet away from me, almost comatose in an armchair while I passed out on the couch. Yeah, I know Kenny. He's a good dude. I love him. I love him, bro.
Same with Elvis, John Lang. He's another one. I'll do one last quick story. So the home opener, we're playing Baltimore Sunday night, blah, blah, blah. So Dave and I, we're kind of kicking around the ideal of maybe moving our tailgate spot into the neighborhood, past one of those drive by the Mafia house in that neighborhood. So then I took a walk back mid-afternoon just to get more of a feel of it once everybody was all parked and I could kind of get an idea. So I'm walking back. Elvis is ahead of me because he's got to get back to his lot. He just had to make an appearance at the big tree. So I'm behind him. All of a sudden, people are stopping him, and he's like he wants to go. So I walk past him. All of a sudden I hear, "Hello, David," and I stop and I go, and then we start walking and we're chit chatting, and then it's funny. He will stop for everybody, kind of like Kenny.
Yeah,
that's what I love about those two guys. They just, you approach them, they're gonna stop.
It's like any mafia, dude.
And exactly, but those two in particular, because is as much status as they hold as a fan, and who they are and what they do for their, John with his charity work and that, and Kenny just being Kenny. Kenny's just Kenny.
He's one of those. He's straight up one of those. If you have the pleasure of meeting him, and they're even though they are on a pedestal, they're on the Mount Rushmore, yes, right, of Bill's Mafia fan base, like legends,
Yeah, and they're not untouchable. They're not unapproachable. I mean, Kenny will buy you a drink, and you could sit there with Kenny for an hour.
Yeah, he'll talk your ear off.
Give him some cherry brandy, or some random whiskey that we find at Kid Rock's old house in Detroit. Poor Kenny.
So speaking of that cherry liqueur that he uses for his bowling ball, I do have a bottle of that at my table, and I tell people, hey, if you don't want to do a bowling ball shot, we have this minus the bowling ball. So if you want to taste what's in a bowling ball that everybody and their mother's lips have been on, here, I'll give you a fresh shot glass, and you could do one here.
Oh, how about this? Hear me out. How about this? Then we got to go because we're at minute 7 right here. How about this? You make somehow a telephone shot. So it rings, you pick it up, you got to pour it in the shot and do this fucking shot. What? Dude, come on, hear me out. Does that not sound like a good idea, dude? Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, brother.
We will go to the lab over the wintertime and come up with something. my partner in crime, my buddy Dave, he's my engineer. I will throw that by him and see what he can come up with.
Oh my God, dude. That would be huge. And then if you make it huge, I'd be like, yep, I'm the co-creator of that. Just,
you'll get full credit for that if it ends up happening. We'll get a sticker of your face on that thing and go, here's the co-creator. That's
let's do the epic B shot off a phone.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I love it, dude. I love it. Dude, thank you so much, bro. Thanks for so much hanging out and sharing your experience. It was surreal being here in Florida wearing flip-flops and shorts while you guys were suffering. Even though we suffered last week when it dropped down to 44, Tampa Neal probably was in the 30s, but
it's cold.
You guys don't know how bad cold hits South Florida. So there's that, and I have hiccups. Excuse me.
How many iguanas fell from the trees down there when that was going on?
That's actually how they don't drop a ball here; they drop iguanas.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
All right, and then we're not going to Jacksonville. Tampa Neal going to Jacksonville. Kaprosch is going to Jacksonville.
I'm going to Jacksonville. Epic B.
By the way, that's some Nostradamus shit. You're like, hey, we're just going to book Jacksonville tickets, not knowing. Well, I'm like, what? No, dude. We're playing Patriots, bro. So.
Everybody kept on saying I was crazy. I'm like, guess what? I got my tickets for probably $200 less than everybody else did.
Yeah, and that's why I always lose my picks to you, because you beat me every time because you're Nostradamus.
See, not only does he wear a cool straw Bills hat, he's got the crystal ball underneath that bad boy, man. He's like, you know what? They're gonna play Jacksonville. I could see it.
Well, it is what it is. Dave, thank you so much for what you do, brother. Always pleasure having you on our show. And what great experience to live yesterday vicariously through you, brother. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. And one quick thing with the charity with response. I just tallied up another coin bank full of money over the last, since I dropped off the last check to Sister Janice 2 months ago. She is all I'm going to say is this: she's going to be very pleased within the next week or two when I present to her another nice donation. So thanks to everybody out there that's donated with the drawings we've done, the shot table especially. That thing just takes care of, that thing has its own legs, so that shot table just kind of runs on its own. And again, everybody that's shown up this season, at our tailgate at O'Neill's, many thanks, man. It's been amazing how much we've raised this year, and I can't wait to see her hopefully within the next week and a half to present to her another nice check. So look for that.
Nice. Amazing, bro. Thank you for doing that, man. That's you're a gentleman, a scholar, and that's why everybody loves you. Not so much us, because we are crude oil. You are refined oil, my friend.
Appreciate the thoughts, guys. Love you both.
Tab and Neil, I think it's time for us. What do you think? Cut it out?
Before we start crying.
Before we want to do a cry session, let's do a cry session. No, we're not doing a cry session. Let's just I'll never hit the rock again. I just don't want to do it. It hurts so much, but I miss it. All right, Dabney, let's go home, bro.
Take it home, baby.
By the way, Sean, this is the website. Somebody asked for your website, so there it is for him.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks everybody for watching. Reminder, the show this next show is going to be on Wednesday, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to discuss everything Jacksonville. So make sure you come on and listen, find out all the, we'll probably get a meeting spots somewhere so we can all tailgate together. So if you have not gotten your parking passes, I'll post a thing on the Breaking Tables podcast. So make sure you go on there, get your parking pass so you can park with us, have an awesome tailgates. If we get enough people to like our page this week, maybe we'll get Epic B there too. So
I'm not going.
No. I can't hear you. I can't hear. I think you're muted. Yeah. He's definitely muted. Can't hear what he's saying.
How do you mute the host? You can't. I'm not going to Duval, dude. I promised years ago, if I ever drive on 95 northbound to go to like North Carolina or something, I'm going a detour around Duval. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm 0 for 2, 0 for 1 during regular fucking playoffs. Over whatever. No, I'm not going. We're not going.
But either way, catch the show Wednesday, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter/X for the live versions. If you missed the live version, pull us up wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, whether it's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Pod, Samsung Pod, Apple Pod. Pull us up, like us, share us, tell your aunts, your uncles, your neighbors. Don't tell your attorneys.
Yeah, don't do it unless you're Frank Santini. But I hope Queen City Roller Derby, who was supposed to come on Thursday, but we can't do Thursday because University of Miami is playing against Ole Miss. Let's go. Buffalo Bills playoff weekend. Let's take games later. Let's go. We'll see you guys Wednesday night, 8:00, with or without the Roller Derby. Love you all.